20 years and looking for his first win in the 500.
It's the 20th year, and we're going at it the 20th time, and I think we'll have a shot at it.
The 3 does the one thing he's never done.
All right. Yeah.
Everything's okay in the world now. Dale Earnhardt won the Daytona 500.
It looks like Elway's and Earnhardt's year, you know what I mean?
He finally won Daytona, all right.
Hopefully this Sunday's the day that we win the Daytona 500. It'll be a big celebration. We're going to rock the house, I guarantee you.
So let the party begin. Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Party is tonight! Woo! Woo!
Finally, one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history puts his car in victory lane in Winston Cup's crown jewel race. Dale Earnhardt, champion of the 1998 Daytona 500. Hi there, everybody. Glad to have you with us on RPM Tonight. I'm Reese Davis. Bill Weber and Marlo Klain will each join us a little bit later in the program. Well, 19 times Dale Earnhardt had raced in the Daytona 500. In 17 of those races, he'd held the lead. Over the course of his quest for a 500 championship, Earnhardt had led at the beginning, the middle, and close to the end. In fact, the only laps he hadn't led at some point in one of those races were insignificant lap number 98 and very significant lap number 200. Would the 20th time be the charm? Dan Marino waving the green flag, probably waving a little harder as his driver, Jerry Nadeau, drove by in his Ford Taurus. Bobby Labonte was the pole sitter, and he took himself an early lead. You know, we went 125 laps without a caution. That didn't mean we didn't have one of them racing deals. On pit road, Dale Jarrett and Jeff Bodine got together, and DJ went into the spin cycle. Let's take another look at it from the 88's perspective. He tried to avoid Martin, and he found Bodine. Jarrett suffered damage to the car. He would come home in 34th place. Martin, meanwhile, also plenty of trouble on the day in the 6 Valvoline car. Drive shaft problems. He would have to go behind the wall. He finished a disappointing 38th after running up front. We saw a lot of this in practice. Mike Skinner right up backside of Dale Earnhardt and pushing his teammate to the lead. Got some help there. Terrific run for Kenny Schrader in the Skull Ride as well. He had to take the car after that wreck back to 31st, worked up to 5th, finished 4th. 42 laps left. McReynolds, Evernham perhaps making a deal because the Penske cars were running together, but then with 27 laps left, John Andretti, Robert Presley spin out, bring out just the second caution of the day, and as a result, the new deal is that there are no deals. Everybody goes into the pits. Earnhardt gets out of there first, and importantly, his teammate Mike Skinner gets out of there from second place. He came in 5th. 22 laps left. Skinner, though, got shuffled out of the draft. The Penske duo, Jeremy Mayfield, Rusty Wallace in second and third as the race winds down. Don Hawk, president of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, saying, oh, please, not again. No more misfortune. Less than 10 laps to go. The front runners trying to make a move on Earnhardt, and he had that thing as wide as a greyhound in an alley. Couldn't get that thing around him at all. 4 laps left to go. Jeff Gordon was running in the top 5, but he dropped the cylinder, and Jeff threw that thing in reverse. He would finish up 16th. Less than 2 laps to go. Earnhardt still strong. Andretti again involved, this time with Lake Speed, the third caution. So we're sprinting back to the stripe. Here comes Earnhardt. Labonte trying to get him, so is Mayfield, but nobody would. Dale Earnhardt getting it done, and Larry McReynolds, much maligned last season after a winless year with the 3-car, celebrating a Daytona 500 championship. And look at this. Every member of every pit crew out there to celebrate with the 3. Earnhardt showing off. And then here he comes into victory lane after 2 decades of frustration. Dale Earnhardt finally enjoying some good male bonding in victory lane there with his owner Richard Childress, and then his teammate Mike Skinner, who helped push him along several times on the day. And the 59 race winless streak is history, and the Daytona Demons are exercised forever. Career win number 71 for Dale Earnhardt. Bobby Labonte had a great run in his Joe Gibbs Pontiac. He was second. The pole sitter in this race still hasn't won since 1987. Jeremy Mayfield, his best finish ever in his second straight top 10 in the 500. Kenny Schrader in that backup car, you saw his great run. He brought it up to the front pack. Rusty's best finish ever in the 500. But the most important best ever run belongs to the 3. And the Goodwrench team made some joyful noises on their radios.
6 to go, baby. Remember what you told me a year ago. Don't let them get a run on you. Got to spin on the backstretch. Spin on the backstretch. Keep getting it. They're all around. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. White flag. Keep digging. Go, baby. White flag. Keep digging. Caution car. Caution car's coming out. Yeah, you're finally going to get it, buddy. Praise the Lord. All right. All right. Yes, guys. Yes. Yes. Dale Earnhardt, you're the greatest, buddy. You're the greatest. Dale, you make the call, buddy. There's about 150,000 people here been waiting 20 years to see it. You got to give them a pole in the honker lap, babe. 20 years. Good news is we won the Daytona 500. Bad news is we lost our car. Dadgum right, baby. You got it. And this is a good beginning on that 8th championship, too, the big picture.
Well, that bad news alluded to for Dale losing his car is only temporary. The 1998 Daytona 500 winning ride headed to Daytona, USA for next year. Bill Weber joining us now. And Bill, after all of the losses and the cut tires and the flips, I think Earnhardt can live with this loss.
This is a private parking spot he's wanted for a long, long time, and now he finally got it, Reese. It was an incredible race with an incredible outcome for an incredible driver. You know, for the first time this year, I got a NASCAR hard card credential. It's precious, it's priceless, but you don't get a paper credential. So I've got nothing for the champ to sign. But I've got the memory of talking to him after the race, and he's got the memory of driving down pit road and accepting the congratulations of not only his team, but every team.
You come down pit road after winning that race, it was so awesome, the lap, riding around, coming back, all the cars coming back, congratulating you, Michael Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, all these guys. You got that feeling, you got the teary eyes, and then you come down pit road, and all, not one team, but all the teams were out on pit road, high-fiving. Wore my hand out. Got down, done me a donut or two in the 500 out there in the green grass and come in victory lane. It's awesome. It's one of the most awesome races I ever won. You can win races down here. All the races you win, anywhere, it's not like winning the Daytona 500. I've won 30 races here. The Daytona 500 was great. It overshadowed all of them.
You've won everything else. Is this the biggest moment of your career?
It's the first. Everybody down here this week been saying, hey, it's your race, it's your race, this is your year, this is your year. Watching Elway win that Super Bowl was pumped you up. It gives you that confidence, that determination. We came in here, that three-team, Larry McReynolds, Richard Childress, everybody come in here with that determination, that look. That's what it took.
You pass the torch now to Rusty Wallace and Terry Labonte?
Yeah, you know, Terry and I was sort of neck and neck on winning this race. We started the same time as rookies, and you know, they was asking me what if Terry won the race. Well, I have to congratulate him. Hopefully, you know, he gave me thumbs up when he came by today after I won the race. So, you know, yeah, I'd like to see him win the race for before his time was up. But you know, it feels really great. It's a feeling that every race driver wants to feel and deserves really after the hard work they go through.
This week you were named to NASCAR's 50 greatest drivers of all time. So was your father. What do you think he'd be thinking right now? Well,
I'm sure he's proud, and hopefully he's... Yeah, that was an honor to me, but it was really made me feel good that Dad was in it too. I mean, that was the 50th greatest drivers. I mean, pretty impressive to be a part of that, and your dad too. And then you go out and win the Daytona 500 on Sunday. That's pretty good weekend.
And he'd be thinking that's pretty special for you.
Pretty special for both of us. For the whole family. Mom called me in Victory Lane.
Great athletes have missed the crown jewel in their sport. Mattingly in baseball, Palmer in golf. Did you think maybe this was one you weren't going to get?
Well, you think that sometimes, and you say, well, 7 championships, put that behind you, but winning this race now, they can't say anything. We've got them all. We've got all the marks up there. We can talk about winning all the races.
Well, Dale Earnhardt has won everything in Daytona except the Florida lottery. And today, he basically got that by winning his first Daytona 500. 31 wins at this track. The first 30 don't matter anymore. He got the one he's been waiting for.
And speaking of lotto, I think it brought him about $1 million.
Yes.
Bill, you know, rooting's part of sports, and certainly fans have their favorite drivers, but that moment when Earnhardt drove down pit road after winning this race, all of the teams out there, all of the fans cheering for him, is sort of a moment that transcends rooting or pulling for a particular guy.
It's a big day not just for motorsports fans, Reese, but for sports fans everywhere. And for motorsports fans, especially NASCAR fans, this is a day they'll never forget. This is bigger than the Yarboroughs and the Allisons duking it out on the backstretch, or in 1984 when the president was here to congratulate the king, or Darrell doing the Icky Shuffle in Victory Lane. This is a big, big moment for this sport. For the 6 people on this planet that don't know who Dale Earnhardt is, they will by the time they're done with breakfast tomorrow morning, because this will be page 1 on all the sports pages in America. It should be page 1 on just about every front page in America. But for NASCAR to kick off its 50th anniversary season with something like this, it's just a memorable moment that you were so glad you were here for. The only problem with it, Reese, is what do they do next?
Well, I tell you what they do next. They start chasing that 8th championship to try to set him apart from everybody else in Winston Cup history. Well, if not for this little Earnhardt story, you know, Ken Schrader might have had the run of the day, driving with a bull rider's flak jacket and an electrical device to mask the pain from his cracked sternum. He took his backup car from the back of the pack to an amazing 4th-place finish.
We got to get us a teammate. It was really nice seeing Rusty and Jeremy. You know, both of them have kind of struggled at some of these places, and they both were there right all day and worked together. And we're going to do that same deal next year with someone.
If you break your sternum next year on Thursday, you going to run the 500 on Sunday?
Hell yes.
We just kept shooting through cars right there at the end. It was like super fast, but got to Earnhardt, and you know he was running about the same speed, and got to congratulate him. I had a feeling all winter he was going to win too, so. I guess I have to go bet on him. Should have bet on him anyway, but anyway, we're awfully happy we start the year off like this.
I had a run one time, and it was either turn him, you know, spin him out, or back off. We did that. You know, that's not a way I want to win my first race anyway. And he had a good car. You know, Earnhardt ran really good today, and if anybody could, besides myself or Rusty couldn't have won, I'm glad he won it.
So Taurus was a hot rod today. I'd like to congratulate Dale for his Daytona 500 win. I like to say that I think we all had a little something to do with it. We shoved him and shoved him and shoved him, and we couldn't get around him. And, man, Jeremy's car and my car ran great all day long. So what a 2-car team effort this was.
Well, now Rusty gets to answer some of those questions about not pulling home the Daytona 500 yet. But this run by far is best. He led nearly as many laps Sunday as he had done in his previous 15 starts. It's the first time Wallace had even been in the top 15 in the Daytona 500 since 1990. Combined with Jeremy Mayfield's run, a strong day for the Penske teams. Another strong day for a guy in a new ride, and that was Ernie Irvin.
We had a good car. You know, there was times that we had a good shot at winning the race, and there was times that we had a good shot at finishing 20th. So, you know, we made a call in the pits and put 4 tires on. Everybody else put 2 on. It's just part of it. I told Ryan, I said, we're going to win some together and we're going to lose some together. And this is one we're going to lose together.
Our car handled perfect. I was good. I could mat it all through a pit stop, but it just wasn't quite strong enough to keep them from teaming up on me and going by. And so it was a long day, keeping more eyes in the mirror than on the road.
We had one set of tires there from the second from the end that got a little too loose. I had to fall back, and we thought maybe, you know, we'd just have to settle for top 15 at that point. But last pit stop went good, and got some help with some other cars, and we were right up there fighting again. So it was really a good day, a nice way to start the year out.
Results 6 through 10. There's Irvin's Pontiac in number 6. By the way, we mentioned this on Saturday. Chad Little is a Taurus, but drove a T-Bird. How about that? Finished up in 7th, by far his best finish at Daytona. Mike Skinner gave Earnhardt someone to run with, but he couldn't stick up front throughout, and he came home in 8th place. Waltrip started 6th, finished 9th. Bill Elliott rounds out the top 10. Well, Earnhardt and crew, they were busy ignoring the Surgeon General's advice and enjoying a victory cigar. More results from this little race we call the Daytona 500. Kyle Petty had some trouble early, but got back on the lead lap, finished 11th. The outside pole sitter, Terry Labonte, now perhaps vying with Rusty Wallace to assume the mantle of best driver never to win Daytona. Labonte comes home there in the top 15. Craven moved from his 32nd place start. Jimmy Spencer moved back from his 7th place roll-off. Defending Daytona 500 champ Jeff Gordon started 29th. Man, he had his car in the front by lap 59, but he lost a cylinder late and finished 16th.
We had an excellent handling race car. The motor ran good all day long. It just didn't run to the end. But you know, we're real happy. I mean, it stinks to kind of go to Rockingham and be behind, but we finished 16th. I mean, so we can't complain too much. It could have been worse.
Well, he was reeling them in for a while. You see Lake Speed coming in there, number 17. He was involved in that crash with John Andretti and saved Earnhardt from having to fight off his chasers for one more lap. Rookie Kenny Irwin, a top 20 finish as well. Well, rookie Jerry Nadeau driving for Bill Elliott and Dan Marino. Nadeau with a strong run, bringing home his Taurus in 21st place on the day.
It's amazing how close you are. You're inches apart doing 195 miles an hour down the back straightaways, and it's just an interesting deal. And all the cars worked good. The Taurus worked good. Everybody else really ran good. I don't think there was that many cars that dropped out, but I thought it was some good racing.
Some bright things ahead for him. He did finish a lap down. Mike Wallace got absolutely no help from either Ed Bradley or Morley Safer, and he finished in 23rd place. Ward Burton started 10th and faded to 25th. Well, fortunately for the Goodwrench team, they didn't need a great big box of tools to make repairs on the 3 this time. Dale Earnhardt, Daytona 500 champion.
He deserved to win the Daytona 500. You know, as long as I didn't get to win it, I'm glad he won it.
RPM tonight, live from Daytona, where Dale Earnhardt has finally won the Daytona 500.
Wasn't my day. Wasn't my year. Won 23 races, never won the Daytona 500. What the hell? I didn't think I had it won till a checkered flag fall, and I didn't win again, so I got to try the 15th year. So what the hell? That's the way it goes. I mean, you know, I pushed off the corner and got in the wall a little, and you know, I could have took him out too, but I was trying to stay off of him, got back, and somebody turned me from the back, and then it was all over with.
We can now store the tapes with those sound bites up in the corner in the deep archives. Earnhardt won't have to answer all of those annoying questions about never winning the Daytona 500 again. Well, Marlo Clain joins us now from what is a very wet and very quiet grid. And Marlo, you know, we were looking for some rain earlier on RPM today, and it appears that you found it. You also found some drivers who were very happy that Earnhardt finally had a success.
They were, Reese. I mean, this will go down as one of the most popular victories in NASCAR's history. It was not only popular for the fans who were sitting in the stands, but also the crew members who high-fived Earnhardt as he passed by, but particularly popular among his fellow drivers.
I just want to congratulate Dale Earnhardt. That is awesome. I think everybody's really happy for him. He did a great job today, and he's done what he does every year, except he kept doing it all the way there to the end.
It'd be kind of hard on Earnhardt's career if he'd run all those races and never won a Daytona. And, you know, now that he's got that, he can go on to something else and forget about this one.
It looks like Elway's and Earnhardt's year, you know what I mean? That guy earns it. He's a master at Daytona, and it'd be a shame for his career to wind down and never have won here when he'd won everything else 100 times.
Everything's okay in the world now. Dale Earnhardt won the Daytona 500, and I guarantee you all of us have a tremendous amount of respect for the man, all he's accomplished, all he's been to all of us, somebody to look up to and being such a great champion. We're very happy. I am very happy he won the Daytona 500, and I bet you to a driver you'll get the same response.
He finally won Daytona. All right.
No, I know how he feels. I won in '86, and congratulations, Dale. It feels good, doesn't it?
With the monkey now off of Earnhardt, the title of most successful driver never to win the Daytona 500 now falls to Terry Labonte, 0 for 20 in his 500 career, and to Rusty Wallace, who stands 0 for 16 after near-miss fifth-place finish on Sunday.
Did you say anything to Earnhardt on the slowdown lap?
Just gave a good old thumbs up because I know he's been wanting it for a long time. Next year's my turn, though.
Reese, even the guys we talked to who had a bad day, when you asked them about Earnhardt, they all got a little smile on their face.
I think just about everybody did, Marlo, including all of those pit guys. Thanks a lot, and try to stay dry out there.
Thanks, Reese.
Actually, you can come on in now. We're finished with you. Hey, you know, gearing up after you win the Daytona 500 can be tough. It's tough to get over the Super Bowl of auto racing, I guess, but a lot of guys have done a pretty good job doing it. The past few 500 winners have done quite well at Rockingham. Gordon won. Jarrett was second. The only bad finish in that group, Sterling Marlin, who came home 12th in 1995. We're back after this.
Gearing Up is brought to you by Toyota. Every day belongs to you. Make it count. Toyota. Every day.
Place seems a little more peaceful now that Dale Earnhardt has won the 500, a rare occurrence in sports. About 185,000 people went home pretty happy. More results from the 500. Joe Nemechek won the Busch race on Saturday but couldn't get the sweep. Andy Hillenberg's first 500, he cashed a check for $79 grand. Well, you saw Dale Jarrett's trouble on pit road. He was trying to avoid Mark Martin, and before you know it, he was right into Jeff Bodine. Jarrett finished 4 laps down, and afterwards he was less than amused with the turn of events.
I was trying to hold my line and give Mark Martin a chance to get out of his pits, and
somebody was coming in, I guess, and they decided they needed that space. Or maybe it's my fault, I don't know.
I was coming in, and he didn't see me coming, and he swerved out and hit me in the side and messed my car up. I guess it messed his up too. It's a shame. He was running good, and we had a really good car. And, real disappointing, but that's racing.
One of them racing deals. Robert Presley and the T-Bird, he wasn't tough enough. DW started dead last, was lapped early and lapped 4 times by the end of it. Dave Marcus started his 31st straight Daytona 500. Derek Hope as high as second before the gum-out Pontiac faded to 37th. Mark Martin had drive shaft trouble. Not a good day for the Roush team. In addition to Martin, Jeff Burton's 4th in the Winston Cup points standings a year ago at engine trouble, completed just 160 laps. Steve Park, the Dale Earnhardt-owned ride, came home in 41st. But I doubt Dale's bumming over that. And Kevin LePage was last in his first Daytona 500. 2Night's Best Buy question. We want to know, what manufacturer did Dale Earnhardt drive for in his first Daytona 500 back in 1979? It's multiple choice. We give you an answer after the break.
RPM Tonight at the Daytona 500 is brought to you by Toyota. Every day belongs to you. Make it count. Toyota, every day.
Well, 2Night's Best Buy question. We want to know, what manufacturer did Dale Earnhardt drive for in his first Daytona 500 back in 1979? Well, Earnhardt ran to an 8th place finish in that race. He went on to win Rookie of the Year, and he did all of that in a Buick. So if you answered 3, you are correct. He's driven 4 other manufacturers in his career: Olds, Pontiac, Ford, and Chevy. A special reminder, of course, as we've mentioned, Dale Earnhardt's cars going into Daytona, USA. You can see that induction ceremony, a special show on ESPN2, Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That, of course, will be followed by RPM Tonight at 7 Eastern Time. Well, a glorious couple of speed weeks culminated by the exercising of some demons as Dale Earnhardt finally wins the Daytona 500. We'll see you.